Thank you so much for having me. I'd like to start by giving a happy birthday to my grandma. She's in Kansas. But I did want to shout her out because she's one of the strong women in my life that taught me that not only can I do hard things, but I have to do hard things. And not only can I stand up for myself, but I have to, even if it's a little unpopular, like my speech might be today. This is incredibly relevant. Thank you to my grandma. Now I get started. July 17th, 2007, then presidential candidate Barack Obama said at a conference with Planned Parenthood that the first thing he would do if elected president would be to sign the Freedom of Choice Act. 2 years later, in 2009, he then said that the Freedom of Choice Act, which would codify Roe v. Wade into law, was no longer his biggest priority. He then spent 2 full terms as U.S. president, not doing too much at all to protect Roe v. Wade. Fast forward 15 years later, June 24th, 2022, a day I'm sure most of us will remember forever, unfortunately. I know exactly where I was when I heard Roe v. Wade was overturned. I was hiding at the storage shed at the Susie Q Cafe. In between angry fits of crying, I was on Zoom calls with friends and activists across Iowa and across the country, wondering not only what should we personally do next, but why the politicians that are now blowing up our phones and emails asking for donations didn't do anything to stop this. When they had a month in advance when the leak happened, when they had years in advance. I decided what I did next with the help of a lot of my comrades was to lead a lot of pro-choice rallies, attend a lot of Zoom calls. A lot of the pro-choice rallies I did were right here in Central Park. It was hard work. It was some of the most challenging stuff I had ever done. Not just the organizing, not just the getting everyone together, writing chants, holding the megaphone for hours, getting a security team. But the words of discouragement and hatred, and just in general made me want to throw in the towel, were surprisingly from all sides. Of course, the obvious haters were the conservatives, right? We've all seen the Facebook comments. People would roll down their windows to call us all types of names and baby killers, just keep spreading lies and hate. The apolitical, the hatred from the apolitical and the uninterested I got. Those that were wondering why I couldn't just call elected officials or do a letter writing campaign as if that would do anything. People saying that I had no business here in Mason City marching.
You're doing great, Meg.
But most surprising of all, I think, the words of discouragement I got were from the well-meaning Democrats and liberals that kept regurgitating that we needed to vote. Some going so far as to say we needed to save our anger for November. This particularly is frustrating, disheartening, and discouraging to me. Sorry, my notes are a little crazy. This is incredibly discouraging to hear over and over again, of course, but I know voting is important. But it was July, and we needed help now. Hearing vote over and over again only reminded me of inactivity from liberals in the past, like Obama in 2009.
Yes.
To some, this is a way to virtue signal and to feign interest. While to me and my peers, this is literally life and death. Above all, this reminded me of a mantra I've heard several times while organizing with those just as disillusioned with the system as me. All we have is each other. On my booth, I have resources, a little QR code you can scan for Iowa Abortion Access Fund and the Emma Goldman Clinic, both of which are local to Iowa. They do direct action, helping people get reproductive care. I would also like to shout out North Iowa Mutual Aid. I'm so glad that they're here.
Yes.
My main point today is that all we have is each other. We cannot keep saying vote, vote, vote if nothing is going to happen. Yes, on the local level, everybody knows that they need to vote. but hearing that in July was not helpful to me. All right, while I'm here, obviously reproductive rights aren't the only issue that women are facing. I would like to implore working women, working men, everybody that's working right now, because we are all united under the struggles of capitalism, to know your rights at your workplace, to unionize if at all possible, to make sure to always talk to your co-workers about what you're making, what your benefits are, and how you're treated. They cannot stop you. Ask them about their salary today. We cannot do better if we don't know better.
Transparency.
Yeah, transparency. The last thing that I would like to say is, obviously I love women as much as the next person. However, I want to address people that we're leaving out here. Every single issue that we talked about goes to all all subjugated gender identities. We're all in this together.
Right.
Non-binary people and trans men.
Yes.
We all.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. And one last thing I would like to say is I am pro-abortion.
Yes.
I would like to view
Yes.
abortion as a value-neutral procedure.
Yes.
The fact that we assign so much mental and emotional power to it is part of why we're in this to begin with. It is a value neutral. If you got to do it, you got to do it, and I support that. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.